Investigators say they're leaving no stone unturned following the deadly shooting of two suspected robbers in Reading. They say the shooter was justified. The families of the would-be robbers say they're devastated, and another man is now facing murder charges. Good evening once again. I'm Rob Vaughn.
And I'm Wendy Davis. We have a lot to cover tonight. One day after a man described by police as a private citizen shot and killed two suspected robbers.
The shooting went down in the area where Kutztown Road, North 9th Street, and Exeter Street all come together. WFMZ's Ryan Hughes starts our coverage at 5:30 near Crick's Corner Store. Ryan?
And Rob, that third suspect was taken into custody early this morning. Police say he did not resist arrest. Now, more than 24 hours after that terrifying experience, that private citizen is not talking, fearing for his life. This all was captured on surveillance video. It's not being released, but tonight we're learning more details about what exactly happened inside the store. Crick's Corner is back open hours after two alleged robbers were found dead on the sidewalk. Crowds could be seen gathered outside the store Tuesday, candles flickering. 24 hours earlier, police say the two men burst inside armed with guns, but they were met by a concerned citizen who reportedly witnessed the robbery in progress.
He saw the first suspect with his arms extended holding a large revolver. He saw a second suspect also with his arms extended.
That citizen called 911, and police say when the two men came outside and threatened him, the tables were turned. His name has not been released, fearing retaliation. The store owner also had no comment Tuesday, but former city councilman and store regular Mike Shorn spoke on his behalf.
He's so sad by the whole thing, because it's bad for his business. It's very, very sad for obviously the result.
Early Tuesday morning, 21-year-old Alexander Garcia Bialek kept his head down as he was led out of police headquarters. He was picked up at his home in Fleetwood, and police are calling him the getaway driver.
He was charged as an accomplice because he was involved in the planning of this robbery where they targeted that store.
And now that third suspect is facing second-degree murder and conspiracy charges. Police say they are confident no one else was involved in this robbery. We are live tonight in Reading. Ryan Hughes, 69 News.
All right, thank you, Ryan. Reading police have released the names of the two masked men who were shot to death after allegedly robbing that store.
69 News spoke to each of their families today. Relatives say they are heartbroken by what happened, and they want justice for the men. WFMZ's Liz Kilmer is live now near the scene with more on that part of the story. Liz.
Rob and Wendy, while many have described the citizen who shot the alleged robbers as somewhat of a hero, that is certainly not, as you can imagine, the way the family views what happened here. In fact, loved ones of 24-year-old William Medina and 18-year-old Robert Takar have, as you can see here, set up this memorial. It's continued to grow even in just the last several minutes.
It's not fair. It's not fair.
With loved ones by her side, Virginia Medina is mourning her 24-year-old son, William Medina. One of the alleged Crick's Corner robbers shot to death Monday alongside 18-year-old Robert Takar. Family members say the two were close friends and good men.
My brother was a good kid. He hung out with the wrong crowd. He's not going to get a chance to make up for it.
He's not no thug or no big heart criminal or nothing like that. People painted the picture like, oh, he's a bad person. He is not a bad person. He was never a bad person. He's a good boy. He really was.
And she says he's being denied justice. While investigators say the unidentified gunman who killed the men did so out of self-defense, Medina and her family want him charged.
He took the law into his own hands and walked away scot-free.
How about if people just start running around here policing the city on their own?
And they got
how much worse is it going to get just because they have a gun license?
Both families describe the alleged robbers as family men, and while Medina admits her son was a drug user, she believes he would have maybe attempted this robbery only to pay child support of his young daughter. We are live tonight in Reading. Liz Kilmer, 69 News.
Thank you, Liz.
Quite the story. Quite the twists to it today. And while the family members are demanding justice, police say this private citizen acted within the law.
And they say he is off the hook for any criminal charges. WFMZ's Jennifer Joas is on the 69 News Sky Deck to explain why. Jen?
District Attorney John Adams says this is a textbook case of self-defense. He says that the citizen commanded the robbers to stop fleeing the scene and wait for police. But once the robbers drew their guns, the DA said that man had the right to defend himself. Reading police had a lot of investigating to do once they arrived on the scene of the deadly shooting at Crick's Corner Monday afternoon. They found two men lying dead in the street and a private citizen copping to pulling the trigger.
The majority of this incident was captured on video footage. We were able to review that video footage, and we also benefited from the fact that there were a number of witnesses.
After extensively investigating this incident, police determined that the private citizen acted within the law when he tried to stop the two armed robbers from fleeing the convenience store. The DA says the private citizen demanded that they stop and wait for police. He says when the robbers refused and pulled out their guns, the citizen shot them in self-defense.
He needed to defend himself because if he would not have used force, he himself may have suffered the wrath of those two gun-toting robbers.
Adams says he does not condone violence in the streets of Reading, but the man did what he had to do to protect himself. He also has some advice for those ever in a similar situation.
For the average citizen, that if they did not possess a gun, that making observations would be helpful, but be careful when confronting someone who has a gun. You have to be careful in those type of situations because no one wants to see anyone else get hurt.
Now, in addition to being exempt from criminal charges, Adams says because of the Castle Doctrine, the citizen will not be able to be sued by the families. Live on the Sky Deck, Jennifer Joas, 69 News.
Jennifer, thanks. Our coverage of the shooting continues online. Go to WFMZ.com to see our past reports on the shooting and a slideshow with pictures of police working the scene.